Good evening, barflies, lounge lizards, and welcome to the Atomic Snack Bar. And tonight we'll be discussing some random stuff that didn't necessarily fit into other episodes. And the first thing I want to discuss this evening is Carnival of Souls, directed by Herc Harvey from 1962, which is unfortunately not a hard-hitting documentary about the footwear of carnival workers. What it is an independent psychological horror film and easily one of the creepiest movies ever made. And it tells the story of a young lady who mysteriously survives after a road racing accident. Yet she has no memory of how she did so. Soon after, she moves to Salt Lake City and begins work as a church organist. After coming across an abandoned carnival pavilion, she starts to see a strange, ghoulish figure. And things just get worse and worse from there. Let me tell you, this Joker just starts showing up everywhere. Loosely based on the Ambrose Bierce story and occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge, or more specifically the short film, and inspired by Ingmar Bergman, Carnival of Souls is the only feature film directed by Herc Harvey. He mostly did safety and educational films, including Halloween Safety, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. Talk about a fantastic opening. Harvey had the idea for Carnival of Souls whilst driving past an abandoned resort that featured a massive ballroom that could be rented for $50. Harvey then asked friend and co-worker John Clifford to write a script. The only direction he gave was that there had to be a whole bunch of ghouls dancing in that ballroom. Clifford wrote the script in 3 weeks. Carnival of Souls stars Candice Hilligoss as our haunted leading lady. She didn't do a whole lot genre film-wise, mostly being a model, but she did have a role in The Curse of the Living Dead. Next, we have director Herc Harvey himself as our ghoulish figure, credited as the Man.
I'm the Man! I'm the Man! I'm so bad I should be in detention!
Yep, that's the one. Harvey, when not touring with Anthrax, did a bit of acting, mostly in educational films. This is a wonderfully shot, creepy little film. Matter of fact, the trailer alone creeped me out so much as a kid, I didn't watch the actual film in full until I was an adult. Like many other classic sci-fi and monster movies, I first discovered this one courtesy of Zacherley's Horrible Horror VHS tape from 1986. For some reason, I was just convinced it was somehow tied in the Night of the Living Dead, and that Hilligoss was Judith O'Dea. Now, let's get to some music here for a moment, and that's a recent discovery of mine, the Phantom AD.
The brain there wouldn't die. Decapitated alive. Just one thing, I gotta know. What's the guy hiding behind that door?
I ran across this ghoulish gentleman on Instagram and I just liked the cut of his jib. But the Phantom is a cape-wearing Afro rock and roller that performs a mix of surf, garage rock, and rockabilly, all with a retro-looking feel. And it probably goes without saying that there's a classic sci-fi and monster movie theme running throughout his work. Often stuff like this comes across as parody, but not here. The Phantom and his alter ego Isaac Rother does an excellent job of capturing that retro vibe of stuff like Screaming Jay Hawkins or Screaming Lord Sutch or any number of other screaming monster rockers. The Phantom has several CDs and vinyl records available. I picked up his newest, The Phantom AD Plays Ghoulish Rock and Roll, and it is quite good. I'll link his info below. And on that, we should take a commercial break.
Let's get to it, lover boy.
Well,
Next up, I wanted to discuss The Greatest Show on Earth. And no, I'm not talking about the Planet of the Apes TV series again. Nor do I mean that time the robot from Lost in Space and I started that underground Jello wrestling league. What I'm referring to is Cecil B. DeMille's The Greatest Show on Earth from 1952, which is part documentary, part drama, and part showcase of the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. and tells the story of the day-to-day life of a traveling circus and the no-nonsense, gruff but lovable general manager as he deals with all kinds of circusy stuff like performer egos, organized crime, circus accidents, and clown groupies, though I may be reading a little bit too much into that last one. The film features not only actors, but the real Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey's circus troupe from 1951, which included 1,400 people, hundreds of animals, and 60 railroad cars. As for our actors, it has a fairly large and interesting cast, so I'm just going to highlight a few, but hey, it wouldn't be the snack bar without complaints of me leaving someone out. But the film stars Charlton Heston as our general manager. As expected, he is every bit as awesome in the role as you would expect. He even hangs out with some apes. Then as Buttons the Clown, we have James Stewart, who I'm sure you all know from films like Vertigo and Airport 77. Could just be my fascination with clowns, but Buttons is truly one of the standout characters in the film. I should also mention character actor Lawrence Tierney of Reservoir Dogs. The film also features appearances by Emmett Kelly and Lou Jacobs, two of the most well-known clowns of all time. Not to mention cameos by Bob Hope, Bing Crosby, and Hopalong Cassidy. Co-stars Betty Hutton and Cornel Wilde actually learned some trapeze work for their scenes. It's said that Hutton got pretty good at it, though both still use stunt doubles. The Greatest Show on Earth was a massive success. It was the highest-grossing film of 1952, and apparently it was the first film that Steven Spielberg ever saw. This is just a wonderful, well-made movie, even if you aren't unhealthily obsessed with circuses like I am. And a big thanks to Snack Bar regular Greg for sending me a copy of the film. And finally, I wanted to mention that my buddy Rock and Roll Ray has entered into a brand new endeavor known as Monstersville. And actually, I'll just let him explain it.
Hi, this is Rock and Roll Ray, host of Dead Baron Radio over on the Monstersville channel. Yeah, join me on Monstersville where you can meet Frankenstein cops, outlaw wolfmen, and intern zombies, all here in the Tower of Vor and in the town of Monstersville itself.
Lame.
What?
Those aren't real monsters. Know what I mean?
Oh, like that real monster right behind you, Dan S. Puppet?
Real enough for me, dude.
I take it back. I take it back. Join me in Monstersville. Tell him Mr. Sterling sent you.
And I hear that the snack bar there has a mighty fine atomic donut. And that's all the time we have for this, whatever it was. Please like, comment, subscribe, watch the skies, and stay atomic.